What's up, everyone? This is James Reyes here with Sports Card Investment Group. I have my grading buddy here, Kyle, with KK Sports Cards. Kyle, how you doing today, man?
Doing all right. Glad to be here and talking to you about what we all love, cards.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So as you know, a lot of people are always asking me, "Hey, I've never graded any cards before. Like I'm hesitant. I'm not too sure what to do." And trust me, anyone that's watching who's thinking that same thing, I was in the same boat. Just a couple of years ago. I've never actually like I never. I was hesitant on sending cards in. Didn't really know what to do. But then I found the different subgroups throughout the industry, and they have like their unique qualities, and pluses and minuses. But then I found Kyle here, probably around the beginning of the year, and um, hands down, the best process. You have a great team, very reliable, just on and on. And
For
I'm
sure.
excited for you to be here because I know I recommend a lot of people over to you, and I thought it'd be cool to do a video to kind of explain the entire process on, if someone's never actually sent in a card. And I'll have you one, go ahead and tell them about yourself, how you got started in all this and all that good stuff.
Sure. I've been in sports cards for about 6 years, just dabbling, collecting, just like everything normal. Saw it as a way to make some extra money in college. So I was playing baseball in college, and then my senior year, I hurt my arm. I had some extra time. PSA offered me a preferred pricing account for how much my own stuff I was sending. So I saw an opportunity with the lowered pricing, and my extra time to offer this service. I knew it would take some time to build. So we started the group submissions last August, and we've been in our new office here since this August. So we've been at it about a year and 3 months, just growing, trying to stay, automate things, keep everything flowing, being as efficient as possible. So that's how long I've been doing that. Our services here are a group submission service. So this is so you don't have to go to PSA and pay higher pricing. Our pricing is more competitive, quicker turnarounds. We have a dedicated point of contact. The order forms can be kind of confusing, shipping, insurance, there and back. We handle absolutely everything. You don't need an account. Like right now with PSA, you have to go buy an account, which they are actually not even selling to the public, even sending cards. So like there's some kind of hoops you got to jump through, and we just take care of everything. We literally just need your cards. So
Yeah.
yeah, we just launched our website, kksportscards.com. It's pretty self-explanatory with the service levels we offer. Everything's on there. Submission trackers and advantage to our submissions. Not all submissions, group submissions do have that. That's something that we felt was important for us, just for transparency. And just like you want to know where your cards are. For us, when we check our PSA account, you can see exactly what we see on our website and our submission tracker on Instagram. Another benefit to us is not paying till the end. A lot of these other submission groups, they collect the money up front. That hurts cash flow for some people trying to flip cards. It makes the wait longer if you're out your cards and $3,000 for 4 months on a 45-day. So we try to make this as easy and just self-explanatory and as user-friendly as possible. That's really our end goal.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. I know for me, just listening to all that, I couldn't agree more. The saving time, writing. I don't know if anyone's, some people that have never sent in a card or have sent in cards. Like there's this form you got to fill out, really confusing, where you're nervous about what you're filling out. And
Right.
usually the cards that you're sending in to get graded, like they're the good, like they're the top of the cards that you have, your raw cards, where you don't want anything to happen to them. So
Right.
have no, I completely agree. I know I use you a ton for a ton of
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
It saves me a ton of time, ton of money.
The
um,
typing of the cards, yeah, is definitely the most time consuming. I have 3 people who sit here 9 to 5 and type cards into orders. So it's like, 'cause every single card has to be input, and we sent off just under 150,000 cards since August 10th. So that's a lot of inputting. That's the most time consuming part. But yeah,
yeah,
so that is a huge benefit though, because that can eat it hours. And then there's special ways the PSA wants stuff. You have barcodes on the outside of the boxes, stuff like that. Somebody first time, they're really not going to know all this.
yeah.
So
Honestly, I didn't even know a lot of that because I've only sent one or two things on my own, because for me, I like to send in bulk, as you can see here. Like I'm buying big collections and I'm trying to maximize my money by sending, the best of the best out, but I want to send them in pretty big quantity. Um, and my biggest value too, a huge value is the not paying, not having to pay until I get them back.
Yeah.
Because this does free up a lot of cash flow where, if I'm paying, let's say I'm sending, 100 cards or 1,000 cards, whatever it is I'm sending, times it by 12, 16, whatever it is, that's a lot of cash just sitting for 6 months. uh,
Right.
and it's almost like a loan, like you're almost like loaning the money.
100%. It's a free loan to the submitters.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is because I can't speak for them, but I mean, they could spend that money on whatever, just the same as if you had it in your pocket, like with our submissions, you can be using that money to make more money to then pay for our submissions. Like,
Mhm.
and PSA doesn't take it from us till the end. So why do we need it from you 6 months in advance?
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I kind of use it strategically too, where I plan on, I know, okay, so I have, 100 cards coming back this week, this upcoming month. I'll
Mhm.
plan ahead and say, like, have money saved until, but I'll use that money into the free time to send more cards. But knowing that the cards that I'm getting back, I'm gonna sell instantly.
To pay
And then
for the next ones. Exactly. Yep.
boom.
Yeah.
So like for
You're
me,
smart.
it's a big wheel.
You're getting on a cycle, yeah. And I didn't even have to tell you this. You came up with the idea yourself, but that's a genius idea. And that's what I tell other people to do. It's like get on a cycle, like keep sending because then you use the first submission to pay for the next one. And now, you're just rolling, you have constant inventory coming back. So yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So for me, there was a little bit of a, with COVID and all that, there was a little bit of a lull period.
Mhm.
But that to me, that's okay because I still had cards coming back. And even during COVID, like I was getting 100 back here, 100 back there. And
Right.
honestly, too, back to like me being just someone that loves the hobby, it's almost like a little Christmas every time I get the
Yeah.
text or the email, it popped. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, but yes, like, don't show me yet. I'm gonna wait till I go home. I'm gonna have a few beers and
Right.
like, and so
It
yeah,
is exciting, yeah. It's so exciting. It's a tough. I've never for my own cards. I always check the email that comes in, like your grades are low. I can't wait till the cards get in.
yeah. I know I have trouble. I did it for the first time. I did a video. I think a couple like maybe last week. I think it was with one of the 5 days I got back, and it was the
Mhm.
first time I didn't actually look at the cards before I got it, like the grades.
Right.
And man, it made it like I had it on video. I'm like, this is like literally my reactions when I'm
Seeing
looking at it. I'm like,
anxiety and emotion, like,
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy.
yep, yep. So no, that's awesome, man. Like, yeah. So um grading obviously has a huge like you is if as long as you're grading the right stuff, you have the eye. What's the value, I guess, in grade? I'm gonna let you kind of go about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the easiest money in the hobby. That's why I started before my group submissions. Just saw grading. It's such an easy way to make money. There's so many, like look at, for example, 2019 Top Scrum update to tease cards. You can go buy those cards for $12 a piece on eBay. It's around a 90% gem rate. That's $100 to $120 card in a 10. That's 10x your money. I mean, where else are you going to go do that? Yeah, you're going to send them 45 day and you're going to wait 4 months, but still, where in 4 months are you going to 10x your money?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. So there's a huge opportunity there to make money. Then again, too, from the collecting side, it's having your cards slabbed and protected, um, authenticated, whatever it may be. But just I mean, it's the easiest thing to do and make money. You don't have to sit there and wait for the player to go up. I mean, the player could go down. Tatis could come out to a rough start, and the cards could be selling for $60 in a 10. I'm still 6xing, you know,
Yep.
stuff like that. Where it's like, I mean, where it's safe. It's good money.
Hmm.
So I mean, I recommend a lot of people to do it. You can do it to fund your collections, fund it to buy PC cards, but I mean, who doesn't want to make some money? It's a fun way to do it, grading cards. So
Hmm.
yeah, there's definitely, I mean, the market's exploded recently. It's just making sure you're submitting at the appropriate service levels and you're not 5 day cards that should be 20 day or 45 day. I mean, unless you're doing stuff like that, it's really tough to get hurt and lose money unless you're just sending in destroyed cards. But
Yeah.
we offer an evaluation service too for $2 a card now, and I'll look over your card front and back, see if there's anything on it, see if we can save you a $25 grading fee on a 20 day or something. So if people aren't comfortable, if people aren't experienced with looking over their own cards, we do offer that just as an added layer of protection.
Yeah, no, and that's actually something that I wanted to cover. Actually, two of those points that I wanted to cover pretty in depthly is honestly, the eval to me is there's a lot of value that you and your team gives back, to the collectors. But honestly, the eval is my favorite.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I've been in the industry for a long time. I look at a lot of cards, have seen a lot of cards,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, I can't catch everything. Not every, there's
Yeah.
times where, like I'm going through a whole stack where maybe I miss something small, and then I'm sending them to you, and then I'm asking for that eval. Hopefully, you're catching something
Right.
as well.
And you got to think it's like, yeah, it's $2, but like for each card you catch, you're saving anywhere from 16 to $25 usually.
Yeah.
So it's like it can be beneficial, but yeah, all the evaluations are done by me personally. So yeah, I
Hmm.
got a whole shelf of my work on each morning for about 2, 3 hours. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I think it's a good service just for the people trying to get into it, or if they're not, and what I do, sometimes like I Sharpie the issues, or I'll let the submitter know, like, this is what I saw on it. So for next time they can look at that and say, this is what he saw last time, like 2017 optic, the back bottom two corners. That's mainly the real issue you got to look for on that set. They're dinged up, just stuff like that. I try to help and teach
Yeah.
people submitting and stuff too.
Well, that brings up a great point because I use it as an education piece too, where
Right.
you
Yeah.
know one of the biggest mistakes new people in the hobby, they come in, the biggest mistake is, oh, I'm going to grade every card I get.
Yeah.
And I'm
Mm.
like, for me, a lot of people that, hey, should I send this card in? I'm like, honestly, take a look at it. And then that's usually why I recommend you. I said, take a look at, let's say you have 10 cards, choose your best five,
Right.
send them in, and write down on a piece of paper, if you're only going to send five, like, okay, the Bo Bichette, the first card I have is,
Mhm.
and then like write them down. And then if there are any small issues that you see, and then see if you can see them, and then
Yeah.
you get them back and you're like, oh crap, I didn't catch this or that. But you're learning, and
Yeah.
you're saving a lot of time and money, because one, you're not waiting 6 months, or like however long it takes back to get it, you might not
Right.
remember what was wrong with that card.
Yeah, you can get an instant feedback,
Yeah.
from it. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I recommend that to all, like, to a lot of people. So
Mhm.
and it there's just you can save so much money by
Honestly, yeah, like, people don't understand, I pull 4 cards, it's $100 if you're doing 20 a day, like,
exit.
cost you $8, like, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's yeah, and I have people who send me, like, in-depth notes, and they detail the issues, or should I auto grade this? Like, I'm happy to advise on anything. And I mean, there's some people who send some in-depth stuff, and I think it definitely does them well. I mean, one guy, he did valuation like his first 4 submissions, and then by the fourth submission, I didn't reject anything. I was like, your card's so good, and he's like, okay, cool. Like, now I know. Now I'm good to go going forward. Like, I trust myself. So,
Awesome.
stuff like that too. Yeah,
No,
it's
that's really cool. No,
yeah,
that brings a great point. I hope, yeah. So I hope people are doing that, because too, it makes it fun in the hobby. Because then when you're out, if you learn to have the eye, and you're out at these card shows.
it shows that's immense value. That's the best place to buy raw cards. I mean, Chantilly, I was there a couple weeks ago. I'll be in Dallas next weekend, and yeah, being at the show, seeing the cards in your hand beats the heck out of eBay, where you never know what you're going to get. I had 2 cards this week coming from eBay. It's mint. They're mangled just terribly. So yeah, that shows, and having that skill is can be very beneficial.
Exactly, exactly. That's why you should be using Starstock, so you don't have that issue anymore.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
no, that brings up a great point. Like for me, my how I really maximize and got to that next level of investing in cards was going to these card shows, getting that eye. And I would say I'm picking up 20 cards instead of picking up 100. I'm picking up 20 that I know I can send out the next day to you,
Mhm.
and hopefully like 18 of them are good to, and maybe I just missed out on 2 of them. But like that's how you maximize your money. Like for instance, like for these, like Bo Bichette,
Mhm.
they're real cheap. These are like $4 or $5.
Yeah.
I talk about this guy all the time. I have a bunch of them. I have hundreds of them.
Oh,
You're actually probably going to get probably close to 500 to 600 of them here in a couple weeks.
check those
Um,
back corners on the gray back
oh,
corners. Yep.
and the top,
In
yeah.
the yep. So
So, but for this, like last year, I was buying a ton of these of Tatis, same price, and and tons of them, because it like I'm like, one, these are tough to grade. So if you have a good eye for them, the pop's going to be low on the tens and the nines,
yeah.
and they're going to be you buy for 4 or 5. Let's say you send them in for the 45 day. You got 16 in it for grading, 4 or 5 for the
Mhm.
what you're paying for the car. I'm in it for 20, 21 bucks, dude. I'll do that
Yeah.
all day long. I don't
Yeah.
care, how many I have. I'll do that all day, and I
Yeah.
know for a fact, like even if I get a 9, I'm still probably gonna make 5 or 10 bucks off of it. Like,
Yeah. Right. Like a nine's not the end of the world. You make a
yeah,
few dollars or you break even.
yeah.
It's like no worries. Just chasing the tens. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's some things that I tell people too is like you don't always have to grade like the top cards. Like you can make as long as you're finding good value cards and you're buying the right cards, you can make some money if you're doing it right. And um yeah, and nines are not the worst. I actually buy a lot of the cards that I personally collect, my PC. A lot of them are nines because they're still good cards. Like
They are. Like a nine's a mint condition card. I mean,
yeah.
that's not bad at all. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like what
And
you're saying about the sets too. Yeah, like that's finding the good value and then stuff that's easy to grade. Like some of these sets, like I mentioned, Topps Chrome Update. Like go look at the Sotos from 2018. Go to psacard.com, go to the population report, divide the number of tens by total submitted. It's like 95%. So like 95% of the time, that card's going to come back at 10. Like the Chrome stuff in general grades easy. And I would suggest to people like, why are you trying to gem 96 tops, Kobe's or 93 tops gold Jeters? Like it's a lower probability, like target the stuff that's easy to grade and you can turn over. Like the Bichettes and tens are $50. People can afford a $50 card sometimes on the higher end stuff. It's more difficult to move a $6,000 to $8,000 card, whatever it may be.
Exactly, exactly. Like I'm gonna grade a ton of these where they're extremely liquidable. Like as soon as I get them, I know I can
Yep.
move them.
Yep.
And I like to spread the risk, different card values, and so I can meet all different markets
Mhm.
in price values. But no, you're 100% right. Like I was one of those guys that had a ton of Juan Soto chromes,
Yep.
uh, but that's because I was lucky enough to I went on just an absolute tear of buying the boxes at
Better.
Target
Yeah.
and had a ton. But really, what I was buying the regular ones single, or the non chrome, like just the paper.
Option two. Yeah.
Because to me, it was harder to grade those. So like I was I was like, these are going to be the ones to buy, for sure.
Yeah.
And one other thing I wanted to touch back with, I actually use so like the 45 day. I actually use it to my advantage.
Mhm.
So it does take a little bit of time for them to come back, but it's all about how you schedule everything. As
Um,
long as you're thinking of it like you have inventory and you're scheduling it like a business. And I'm so like for these, I need to send these in like ASAP to you because
mhm.
hopefully they come back. How long does usually like a 45 day come back?
4 to 5 months, I'd say. Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So they're gonna be here right for baseball season.
You're exactly right. Yep. Like must have read my mind. Like that's exactly what I didn't change until I bought so much baseball stuff, Wander, First Chrome, stuff like that. Just to time it right on the 45 day, and I sent mine off last week. Yeah, the
Mhm.
timing the markets is huge. Like when's the season going to start? When's the hype going to be there? Like on the higher end basketball or the nicer basketball stuff, like maybe 20 day because they're going to start playing again in December, January.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's you definitely got to be aware of. When's my card's going to be ballpark coming back.
Yeah.
That's very smart. Yeah.
So that actually makes it even more fun because like I'm buying the cards in like let's say during the off season or the different seasons where
Yeah.
oh yeah, like if I have them at grading, I know I'm not going to sell them during a time where they might not be like at its peak.
Right.
Let's say if I sold these right now, I know for a fact these are going to go up by the start of the season without grading or anything, just like as is.
Yeah.
If I sold them right now, I would be I'm not maximizing my money. So it's almost good that I do send them and I can't do anything about
Yes. Yeah.
them. I'm not
Yes.
tempted at all. Like they're locked away. Like I'm locked into them.
Exactly. Me personally, like when I'm selling stuff, like I don't hold stuff well, and PSA forces you to hold on stuff, which is
Yeah.
good for people like me because I mean, I got stuff like I'm selling it the next day. Like I'm terrible at holding, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So for me, it's all about finding ways to like everything, no matter what the process is finding it to be your advantage. Even if it's, something that's not as fun where, with waiting too long, for a grading to come back. So what I do is I make smaller orders. So then they're coming back more periodically. So I'm not waiting for, 1,000 cars to come back. I'm waiting months. I'm getting 100. It's keeping me like you know, okay, I got 100 cards I need to move, because if I get 1,000 cards, I can move all 1,000 just because I use like consigners and Starstock. But if
Yeah.
I was like me, just myself, it would be tough.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good that like if you break it up and just use it to your advantage, is my big
Yeah.
thing that I just tell everyone as
Yeah.
well.
That's very smart. Um, I mean, it's there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of different strategies with it, with the timing of the seasons and what you're going to grade, and yeah, it's an interesting market for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. And another thing too, like for people that are going to get, going to put together their first order out to you,
Mhm.
one suggestion that I do is like I buy these boxes, and they're not actually even like the special BCW ones, or like any of like they're not actually made for cards. I just get them straight off Amazon, but they do the trick because I can put these, like the long way,
Yep.
and then also let's say like for instance, like I don't know, like the semi-rigid, I can put them in this, like I can place them like this, and then I just put some bubble wrap right there and send them that way. But then also if they're a clean box, I just write right on it. Like
Yeah.
I just make
And
it
that
easy
makes
with.
that makes us makes it super easy for us. Yeah, for all packages coming in, you go through the website, it's going to print it out. But yeah, we need your Instagram name, all the info you'll have to fill out, but it'll all be on the printout. But that info is, yeah, perfect, having it right on there, easy for us to recognize and get it going.
Yeah.
That's
And
it with us too, with the submissions being now rolling. We're sending off, like, I mean, every day we're sending off packages to PSA. So like some of the other submissions have like dates like we used to have. Can make it a little bit more difficult timing, if your preferred group submitter isn't sending off for another 3 weeks. So that's why we switched to rolling too, just so like, I mean, stuff is off like no later than 24 to 72 hours after we get it. Like we're
that's awesome.
getting it off that quick.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're keeping it
So
nice and easy and simple, because the easier it is on us, it's easier it is for us to get it off,
yeah.
keeping things flowing.
For sure. And one thing that I'll do is like I'll have one of these, like I'll have the two with the two different, so like the pre, like the
Yep.
present, the 2017, and then before that the pre, and I'll have them just like kind of on my table, so when I'm sorting cards, so as soon as I get them like actually sorted and top loaded or in a semi-ridge, I would just put them straight in there, so once
Yep.
they fill, I close it and then I put it in my other room with the inventory, so I just have them, so then I can send them all at once, so
Right.
then I'm not putting them in a pile. Okay, am I grading this or not? Like, you
Right.
know, doing extra work over and over.
Yeah.
Once they're in this box, I know that it's good to go. Like,
Yep.
just got to wait till it fills up and then send it. So, those are just little tips I do. Another thing that I do is for everyone that's watching, I actually have a template of like my Instagram name on it, my name, like my address, where I'm sending it. So, like return sender, and I'll print off a ton of them, like with
Yep.
all my info, and I'll put them in uh,
Amen.
one of these boxes. I'll put them like one in each box. I'll put one in the big box, and I'll just throw some in there just in case. Because you guys are, if I don't know if anyone here is watching that doesn't follow his,
Yeah.
or they follow your Insta, I see the massive mail. Uh, it's like Santa Claus, like how much mail you guys get.
The crates I have to wheel out of the post office. So they're like industrial crates some days. It's like 100 plus like 200 packages. Yeah, it's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, but people don't realize, like, we got a lot of people that don't send their name or with a note. And it's like, you open up your package, how are we supposed to know that these are your cards, and we get put to the side till we can have to locate you or you contact us. So yeah, including the note with your cards is always good. And he's extra good with it, with putting multiple in there. It's just,
Mhm.
as long as we have that info, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing that I'll do for everyone that's watching, and if you're interested, sending some cards to Kyle, I'm going to put everything in the details below. So I'm going to put your website, I'll put your Instagram. This is one of his cards, but I'll put basically all this information in the details below to make it easy for everyone to have a direct access. Or you
Yeah.
can DM me on Starstock Investor on my Instagram. I'll send over your info on how to contact Kyle and his team there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude, you made, it's been great working with you.
Yeah. It's been a blast.
And
If
it's
anyone has any questions too, they can reach out on Instagram or on our website. We have a tab on there that's contact us, whatever. I know that there's a lot of information, a lot more information that, you can only fit so much in so much time. So if anybody has any questions, anything that they're not understanding, trouble with the website, trouble with anything, we're here to help. We try to answer as quick as humanly possible. So just don't be afraid to reach out if anyone has any comments, questions, concerns.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And another thing too, Kyle. So one thing that if for me, I love sending stuff to Starstock. So
Yeah.
as long as you have a Starstock account with your username, and you talk to Kyle on, hey, let's say you're sending a bunch of Bowman stuff, like stuff that Starstock is accepting, you can
Yes.
let Kyle know, and he'll send it actually directly to Starstock.
Yes. If anybody's interested in selling on Starstock, that's an option. We're going to be adding that to the website as like a checkout feature of like you want to sell your cards there. Yeah, we're working with Starstock and we can actually get them the cards straight from us to them so they can be in your account. You can price them and do what you want. But it just saves you wouldn't have to pay the shipping back to you and then to them. It's just a lot more expedited, keeps things flowing. So yeah, that's a great option. If people are interested, they can use.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that I like about that is because you guys package things so well and protect it and all that, where I can't copy like I'm not as good as that. So I'm like, hey, just send them to Starstock for me so I can put them right in my account.
Yep.
And if you guys don't have an account yet, you can a free $5. I'll have a promo code in the description below for SS Investor is the promo code. And as long as you're making a new account, it'll give you a free $5. You do have to make your first deposit to get that, but that's a free investment for y'all to have. So
Yeah, if
um,
they haven't checked out Starstock, they definitely should. I like the trends feature on there. Like you can really see just like an actual stock, how the card's been performing. Yeah, I
mm,
think it's a really interesting site that I think there's a lot of use that can come out of it.
yeah, and honestly, the biggest thing that I love about it is like I'll buy like most of these are where I bought on Starstock where
Yeah.
I bought the A's. So I with me getting back the A's, I'm not as worried about them, not being like they're going to be gradable. Most of them, if all of them will be gradable, and makes it easy. Makes it super easy where I'm getting one big package, and I
And
know.
saves you the shipping from 30, 50 different sellers. Yeah.
Mhm. So that's where that and card shows, the card shows that I'm going to in person, is where I'm getting most of my cards these days for grading. So,
Absolutely.
um, but yeah, dude, Kyle, huge thanks, man.
Yeah, it's
Um,
been awesome, James. I appreciate you having me on.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited for anyone else that is going to send their first order to you because grading is so much fun. Like honestly,
It is, yeah.
it is it's very what's the word like kind of nerve wracking your first one,
Hmm.
but once you get past that and you're like, okay, what else can I send, like, okay, now I'm on especially when you get your first sub back, that is
It's
uh,
so exciting. The emotions that
yeah,
people really wouldn't realize it, but there's so much excitement. And
it's addicting.
yeah, it's literally like Christmas morning. You can
Yeah,
be super great sometimes.
so if anyone is hesitant, feel free to reach out. It is a streamlined process. You don't have to send in a ton of cards. That's another thing too, like
You
you
can
can.
send in one card if you'd like. And if you had to go to PSA, you send in one card that they're going to charge you like $26 return shipping. That's like their minimum return shipping on an order. So it doesn't make sense. And the fee you see for us is our flat fee. There's no like added in for, PayPal fees or anything else. It's literally just the price you see for us, your return shipping back, and then if you have an upcharge.
Yeah,
But
yeah, awesome. Well, thanks again, Kyle.
thank
You have a great day,
you.
and you're about to get a ton of cards from me.
Also, yeah, look forward to it. Thank you.
Yep, I'll see ya.
Bye.